He once led the Florida Gators to the Final Four, and now Dan Cross is leading student athletes from the ball field to the job market. Here he is to talk about his project, Athlete Connections. Dan, it is awesome to have you here, man. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I told everyone around here who's a Gator alum who went to UF, I said, Dan Cross is coming in. You're like the Pope around here, man. You know, people freaked out. So on behalf of all those Gators, they told me to say thank you for the Final Four in '94, so thank you.
Thank you. Go Gators.
Go Gators. As a Cane, I can't really join you with that,
can.
but we hate the Seminoles,
Yes.
so we can share with that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Athlete Connections, I think it's such a cool organization. It's your baby.
Yes.
So tell us about it.
It's an organization that I founded 6 years ago through my own experiences and transition in life from being a student athlete to trying to figure out what I wanted to do next with the rest of my life. As being blessed to be able to accomplish just about everything a student athlete can accomplish and experience, I wanted to first identify a void and provide a service, a quality service that can make an impact and help student athletes across the country, across the world, and preparing themselves for life after sports. And that's how Athlete Connections evolved.
So okay, so when you're a student athlete, when you're a college athlete, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, whatever.
Yes.
What's your mindset? Are you thinking I'm going to be a pro ball player and that's it? Do you care about what major you pick? Do you spend a lot of time studying, or do you find that student athletes don't think so much about education because they're thinking about being pro athletes?
I believe that the student athlete thinks about both, but the focus is on why they are actually at that particular school or university, and that is because of the sport that has provided them a free education and an opportunity to build their athletic program, either for winning purposes, for national championships, whatever, or for the coach to keep his or her job. So in understanding the business behind sports, there's several reasons why a student athlete would want to attend a university, but the main focus is it's about winning.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
So take me through your story. Okay, so you're at UF. You're, as we mentioned, in the Final Four.
Yes.
And then maybe things didn't work out the way you envisioned them in terms of an NBA career.
Yes.
What went through your mind? What was your process of post-college and struggling to get a job and things like that?
Yes. Well, I had the opportunity to continue to play basketball. It just wasn't at the NBA level. I've lived in over 10 different countries. I've played professionally for 12 years of my life. I've traveled the world. I've been exposed to things that I would not have been exposed to if it were not for this round basketball that bounces and goes through a hoop.
Right.
So in understanding that I had an experience to continue to play and enjoy playing a particular sport and make money playing this particular sport, I tried to live out that dream as long as I could. And understanding that I still had the next 40 to 50 years of my life, as long as I stay healthy, to try to find what I wanted to do next. That's what I was not prepared for. As I traveled around the world, I found that all of my colleagues, my opponents, my teammates were also not prepared or did not know what careers they were interested in going into, because the focus and the skill set had been to win, to build programs, to make coach, have a better job or to keep his or her job, to be on the best team that there were, to compete against the best competition. This is the mindset of student athletes if they're going to compete at the highest level. What is not taught are the preventive measures for what careers our young men and women are interested in going into. Financial literacy and how to save money, how to write checks, how to invest money, how to deal with or negotiate when it comes to contracts or money, how to look for jobs, how to look for resources that identify with the skills and qualities that student athletes possess that make them very marketable in our society.
So how does this work? Okay, so now we know what you do. How
Yes.
do you do it? Is it around the country?
Yes.
Do you go to them? Do they come to you?
It's a little bit of both. Right now, we're continuing to market our particular services throughout the country. We provide three quality services, one being student athlete career fairs, to where we go on campuses and to athletic departments and bring in employers that happen to be alumni and boosters that own businesses and are in position to hire. Because of the rules that are set up with the NCAA and athletic departments, it a lot of times puts student athletes at a disadvantage because we're told that we can't talk to alumni, we can't talk to boosters because of different rules, regulations, violations. So it's a very controlled setting that we bring in these particular resources that invest thousands and millions of dollars on our athletes. As fans, we just now put them in position, if they truly and really want to be fans, this is another way that you can help complete the careers of our student athletes as fans.
And that's got to help the athlete because boosters love their athletes,
Correct.
right? So I would imagine they would be more excited to hire you, a guy they've rooted for all these years, than hire me, who they don't know.
There's a common denominator when it comes to relationships. When you know names and certain student athletes or the majority of student athletes have made an impact on a particular community or on a particular town or in South Florida or that particular university, it now lends a certain amount of credibility. And as we know with networking and building relationships, credibility is the biggest part of having an opportunity to have an opportunity. And so we want to just be able to provide two different links or three different links when it comes to how do we connect the dots? Mm-hmm. How do we connect the resources, which happens to be employers that identify and invest money into our athletes? How do we connect the athletes that, for the most part, don't have an opportunity to connect or network with these particular resources that are employers? And then for the athletic department, it provides a service and a recruiting tool to now say, hey, you know, Johnny, Susie, not only are you getting a degree from University of Miami or FAU or University of Florida, but now you have an opportunity to find a job by the resources that are already within our, you know, surrounding community. So that's the connection that we made, and that's why we're called Athlete Connections.
And there are a lot of qualities that student athletes have
Yes.
that probably make them more desirable in the professional workplace.
Oh, most definitely. The attributes and the skill sets that the majority of student athletes possess, it's a full-time job that these young men and women have at a very early age. Not just in college, but in middle school and high school, when you're understanding the discipline that comes behind balancing sports and balancing school. That's an attribute that most student athletes don't understand how to market.
Right.
And you understand that you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning for practice or for preseason or for conditioning, and then you have to go to school, and then you have to practice after practice. That's a 6 to a 9 o'clock basically job. And so, and then there's travel. And there's just so many attributes that these young men and women possess, but there's a lack of preparation and education on how they market themselves, much like the athletic departments have marketed them.
So if people are watching and they want to be part of this, they want to get more information, where do they go?
Sign up at athleteconnections.com. It's a free service, first of all, for the student athletes to be able to build their profiles, to be able to put and add their resumes to this particular site.
You know what? Thanks so much, man. That's great. Listen, continued best of luck with what you're doing, and come back anytime you want.
Thank you.
Go Canes.
Go Gators.
Thank you, Dan. Coming up, a hidden South Florida gem that will quench your craving for craft beer. Stick around.